As of us recording this, the East Coast ports are still shut down. And I actually wrote an article last year that I've had a lot of people reaching out and commenting on. And I basically put together a framework for how I would fix this once and for all. And it basically comes down to two parts here. The first one is I think they need to pay everybody off. And the second is I think they need to transition the ILA's business model. So what do I mean by that? Well, basically you have this challenge playing out in the ports that is reminiscent of automation and AI and everything that's going to come across lots of different sectors. But in particular with automation, you have these dock workers that have a livelihood that they've made very good money on. The average wage is somewhere between $50,000 and $200,000, depending on how long you'd be there. And so these jobs disappearing are meaningful. This isn't a cashier job disappearing. And so my proposal or my thought would be that they guarantee every longshoreman $150,000 a year until 2055. And this is, if you, until you die or it's 2055, you're going to get this salary. And whether you are working full time at the longshoreman, whether you are retired, whether you're taking that money and starting a business, just make a line item that says, we're going to pay you this amount, for the next 30 years. And there are about 65,000 ILA members in the US, and it would cost about $10 billion a year if everybody took this package. Now, realistically, the thought here is that, your job would have to be automated away. You can't just work for one day with the ILA and then quit. But if we had something in place where someone worked and up until the day that their job was automated away, they were working hard, doing their best. And then after their job got automated away, they got this 150K. You change the incentives. And so I would estimate that about $2.5 billion a year is what we would spend on all this. So, call about a fourth of everybody coming through. But what you're going to do here is you're going to change the incentive structure. And suddenly you have all of these workers that are going to be the ones pushing for automation. They're going to be the ones that are saying, hey, you know what? I really don't think we need this guy over here. Or, you don't need my job. Or, hey, why don't we work to try this other thing faster? And so you're going to change the paradigm where these workers are going to be the ones that are all about the automation. And it'll be the business owners who are like, well, I don't know, what's my ROI on that? And so you're going to change the paradigm completely. The second piece is, what do you do with the ILA? So this is a business that makes money by collecting dues from its members. And if there are no members, it's an existential threat to them as a business. And the ILA is not going to go in and start organizing Starbuckses, for example. They're always going to be tied to longshoremen or to international trade and ports and things like that. And so what I think they should do is we should be helping the ILA transition to becoming not a union, but a standards organization. So the company that starts to set the rules, the guidelines, the testing, the implementations as it comes to automation. This could be something where maybe they become the standard bearers that certify that this equipment is designed properly, that it's maintained, that it's functioning properly. And what you'll do here is you'll allow the ILA to be a relevant voice in the ecosystem for a long time. And so they find they still have a purpose. It's not an existential threat of we're going to go out of business is what it is. So again, a bit of a controversial take, but if you were to offer any longshoreman whose job got automated away $150,000 a year for 30 years, you'd find a lot of people who are now suddenly very interested in automation. And if you actively work with the ILA to help them become the standard bearers for what a safe port or an efficient port looks like, suddenly you change these incentives and both of these sides are going to be pushing toward the future that we know is coming, but that we also need as a country.